Kia ora tātou, it's Carla Lindsay here from Women's Ministries. In the Salvation Army right at the moment, we are in the middle of the self-denial appeal. And the self-denial appeal, as the name would suggest, is about denying ourselves. It's about going without something ourselves in order that we can raise money to support the work of the Salvation Army overseas. And so right now I've got with me Major Lynne Medland, who is an officer in the Salvation Army who is currently serving overseas. Hi Lynne. Thanks for joining.
Hi.
Would you like to tell us where you are and what you're doing, please?
Sure. So I currently live in Port Moresby with my husband, Graham, which is the capital city of Papua New Guinea. If you don't know where that is, it's just above Australia. And I am the program secretary for the Papua New Guinea and Solomon Islands territory.
Cool. Tell us, what are some of the great things about living in Australia?
It's a fantastic country. It's a beautiful country. Not very far away. We can go snorkeling and see the coral reefs and things. But definitely the people. They are the best thing about this country. They're so friendly and warm and welcoming. And bonus, a lot of them are shorter than me, which is quite novel for me. I enjoyed standing in the second row of the photos.
Oh, nice. Would they be shorter than me too? Because there's not many people shorter than me.
Yeah.
That's great. So I'm interested to hear a bit about some of the women over in Papua New Guinea in the Solomon Islands territory. I'm interested to know a little bit about what life is like for them, and particularly about what the Salvation Army is doing to support women in your territory.
Yeah, sure. So life is hard here for everybody. There's no social welfare, so if you don't have a job, there's no money. But it's particularly hard for women, and especially outside of the city. In preparation for this, I looked up some statistics, and as of 2019, Papua New Guinea is the most rural country in the whole world.
Okay.
And only about 13% of the people live in urban centres. There's some conversation about how many people actually live in Papua New Guinea, and it's somewhere between 8 million and 18 million. They're really not quite sure.
Quite a big difference.
Yeah. But when the country is so widespread, it's impossible to really know. But a large proportion of those people live in customary communities, which are known as villages here, and they might be very, very remote. In terms of women, Papua New Guinea is often ranked as maybe the worst place in the world for violence against women. And according to UNICEF, nearly half of reported rape victims are under 15 years old, which is a terrible statistic. And there's also an issue here with what's called sorcery accusation related violence. And it's estimated that between 50 and 150 alleged witches are killed in Papua New Guinea every year. They're often women whose husbands have died of unknown causes, and so people are accused of killing them with their witchcraft. And often their children are also in danger and are killed as well in horrendous ways. Life expectancy in Papua New Guinea in 2016 was 64 years for men and 68 for women. And the number of midwives per 1,000 live births is 1.
Wow.
And the lifetime risk of death for pregnant women is 1 in 94. So it's a rough place for women. In the Solomon Islands, it also has one of the highest rates of family and sexual violence in the world. And 64% of women between 15 and 49 have reported physical and or sexual abuse by their partners. The World Health Organization say that this is because of gender inequality. And the report said that in the Solomon Islands, gender-based violence is basically normal. 73% of men and 73% of women believe that violence against women is justifiable.
That's quite
So,
mind-blowing, isn't it, to think that there are places in the world where that's still the way
yeah,
people think. Those statistics are quite,
yeah,
I don't quite even know what to say about that.
yeah,
Please tell
yeah, I
me the
know.
army is working.
Yes,
These
yes.
people, what is the army doing to help make it better?
Yeah. So in Papua New Guinea, we have 3 centres that work with the survivors of GBV and SAV, which is the sorcery accusation violence. 2 of them, one in Port Moresby and one in Lae, include safe houses, so the women can come and stay there, and they help them work with the courts and things. And then the centre in Lae, which is the next biggest city from Port Moresby, and another centre in Kainantu up in the Highlands also have medical clinics attached. So all 3 of those centres, the women and children receive literacy education and skills training to support themselves so that they're no longer reliant on somebody else to provide for their needs. But also trialling couples counselling, because, often it's just because people don't know any different. And so couples counselling enables families to live together violence-free if that's what they want to do. So those things are making a huge difference. We have a lady who came to us a few years ago to our safe house. She was a victim of gender-based violence, partner violence, and her children came and lived in our safe house. She was illiterate, and she learned to read while she was at the safe house. She is now one of our literacy trainers. So
wonderful.
she's learned to read. She's empowered herself and her children. Her children are in school, and she's now passionate about making sure that other people can also read and support themselves. She's the most incredible woman. She's a mechanic. She does electrical stuff. She does plumbing things. She's built herself a house, and she just wants to empower women to be able to do the same thing. So she's incredible.
Oh, that's an amazing story. So the army really is making a practical difference. So good to hear. Yeah, that's changing people's lives. Yeah.
And in the last few years, we've had financial support from the Australian government, and we've developed a gender equity, disability and social inclusion policy. We've also done a modern slavery and human trafficking response policy, which we are also involved in. We have rescued some people who have been involved in that. And we've also updated our child protection policy, and we have territorial champions for those, and they train up people right down to the village level to promote and lead these incredibly important changes in life. And standing up against the cultural norms and making a difference. So it's fantastic.
That is fantastic. So the army really is making a practical difference, and not just in one way, but in a number of levels across society by the sounds of it. So tell us then, what difference does the self-denial appeal make? How is this going to help you to do more of this? Because it sounds like we need more of this.
Yeah, definitely. Self-denial money supports us hugely. This is one of the most highly funded territories in the whole world. And your donations support that funding. But the surprising thing here is that self-denial here yesterday, our altar service, and people here give as well. They want to support other countries and support themselves. But the money that we receive from overseas, it goes so far here. The exchange rate helps, but just the smallest thing can make such a huge difference. Just to be able to buy stationery for children to go to school, whether they're coming to our literacy schools or they're going to other schools, to teach women to read, to teach people to support themselves, and to make a better life for themselves. So self-denial makes a huge difference. But also, please pray for both of our countries. These are huge issues that only the power of God can conquer, and we depend on His support every day to make a difference.
Yeah, and we want to pray for you and Graham as well, and those others working on behalf of the Salvation Army over there, that God will keep you safe and watch over you and your families. And thank you for what you do. That makes a difference. So good to hear that, and to just put that out to people who are listening, that when you give to self-denial, it makes a difference. So would you consider what you can deny yourself in order to further the work of the Salvation Army around the world? Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Tā kite.